Hey, my little Bloons Tower Defense buddy, so let's explain what's going on here. First of all, this is Downstream, on hard, it is No Lives Lost, and it is NAPS, and I'm going to try and do my entire strategy and try and tell you exactly what's going on so you guys can finally beat this hard. Maybe not No Lives Lost, but at least beat it on hard. I think you guys can do it. I know you guys can do it. I'm going to go over pretty much every single thing I'm going to do and just talk about everything I possibly can. Obviously, this commentary might be a little bit boring for some of you guys, but I think most of you guys might like it. I am going to be talking for 16 minutes, so it's kind of a long commentary, guys. But so I definitely appreciate all the likes you guys will give me if you do that, because it's going to take a lot of work to obviously do. So, first of all, what did I do? Well, I started off with that tack shooter, and then I got 2 dart monkeys on those bottom 2 islands. And when I started with the tack shooter, I actually didn't put the tack shooter at the very, very tippy top of the island as I possibly could. Like, you could put it on low quality if you really, really wanted. Move the tack shooter up pretty far on that little island in the middle there. But what I did was I actually moved it down just a little bit, because if you actually notice, I know this is kind of complicated and get kind of confusing, but I actually moved the tack shooter down just a little bit, and I felt like it actually helped out a little bit more, because the tacks would shoot straight up in the top there and straight down in the bottom there, and it would basically give you more popping power. So it sounds stupid, but it actually did help to not put it at the complete top of the island. Then by level 2 and 3 and 4, you want to get those 2 dart monkeys on those islands. I found like I didn't really know where to put them. I guess that's probably the 2 best spots, because they can hit pretty much all the balloons that pass by. So those 2 on the island, just put them right there. That'll work out for you. And then what you want to do is just upgrade your tack shooter to 2-0 pretty much as fast as possible, and then you're going to save up for a farm. And this is really important, because you need to get a couple farms for this strategy. Definitely. This is a hard map, guys. I definitely think it's an expert map. Definitely harder than the castle. Not the castle. Definitely harder than the clock. Maybe as hard as the castle, but it just may seem like that because I haven't really played it quite that much, and I don't really know what to expect or what to do just yet. I do think it is really hard, though. It may be harder than the castle, but I definitely don't think it's as hard as the other one with Death Valley. I don't think it's as hard as Death Valley. I think that's still the hardest map besides the extreme maps. And then, yeah, once you get your 2-0 tack shooter, you want to be a little bit careful on level like 12 and 13. You're probably going to have to use some road spikes if you want to get it No Lives Lost. Now, if you don't care about No Lives Lost as much as I do, and I usually only do it because you guys tend to like it. If you guys type in No Lives Lost in the freaking YouTube bar, and then it makes my video not pop up, so that's why I end up doing No Lives Lost, and it makes me look way cooler, and I am pretty cool. So that's why I did that. And then, if you don't use the road spikes, though, you're going to save so much money, because I had to use probably maybe, I don't know, maybe like 50, 60 sets of road spikes the entire strategy, which actually is not that much. I see a couple other people made guides, and they used a lot of road spikes, even on easy and even on medium, and I tried to stay away from that as much as possible, so that's why this was actually kind of a lot of work. I didn't just go and say, hey, I'm just going to make this as fast as possible and get it up there for you. No, I wanted to make it good so you guys could actually understand what you were doing. And then by the time you get to level like 14, 13, you want to get a boomerang. And I put them, you know, you guys can see where I put them, but it really doesn't matter that much where you put them. I also left them on first, which I think you guys could put them on last if you wanted, but first seemed to work out pretty well anyways. And then you probably want to get, after your boomerang, you probably want to get your banana farm up to 1-0, and that obviously just helps a little bit. The next thing I got was level 18, or 17 really. I got my tack shooter up to 3-0, and that gave me even more popping power, which was pretty freaking sweet. And then for level 20, you want to make sure you get your glue gunner. Sorry, my throat's a little bit dry. I don't know why my throat's always dry, but it just seems like it always is. And then get your glue gunner for level 20. That's really important, because I noticed for most people's strategies, nobody really used glue gunners, because it's really hard to hit stuff with the glue gunners unless you put them in the right spot. And I figured like this was actually a really good spot to put my glue gunners. They don't really help on every single level. Obviously, levels like 27 and stuff like that, you really don't get too much damage in and stuff. But they do help quite a bit for a lot of the important levels where you can get a bunch of farms. That's why they're really, really important. So even though you're hurting right now farm-wise, later on I'm going to show you that it's going to actually be very, very beneficial to just get the 2 glue gunners now instead of trying to get a bunch of popping power. So yeah, now I have quite a bit of money, but I'm still going to buy my second glue gunner just because I feel like I could buy a farm right now and just use road spikes to try and survive, but I didn't want to make that. I wanted to make it easy for you guys to follow, so I ended up doing that. And it seems like I had to use a lot less sets of road spikes. Be careful with your boomerang, because you obviously don't want your boomerang to keep popping a bunch of balloons before they glue it, so that's why last might be bad, or strong might be bad. Actually leaving on first might help. Level 24, I got a ninja, and I wanted to get him up to 0-1. I know most people don't like to do a 0-1 ninja, but he was missing quite a bit when I had just a 0-0 ninja, so I got the 0-1. You could upgrade him up to a little bit stronger, but it seems like you really don't need to. He just helps out quite a bit on level 27 and a bunch of other levels, even though he only gets a minuscule amount of pops. A couple sets of road spikes maybe on level 27. Just be a little bit careful, because that big yellow rush can actually hurt you quite a bit. Hopefully this isn't too boring for you guys. I'm trying to make it kind of exciting. I would definitely appreciate it if you actually kept watching the entire thing. And soon I'm actually going to speed it up a little bit. Right now I'm at 1 times speed, and I'm going to speed it up just a little bit more at level 34, I think it was. I felt like that was like a game changer when you guys actually know what's going on instead of random things going on and me upgrading random things. And then I think again on level like 49 or something, I sped it up even more. Something like 3 times, just because everything's pretty much, not everything's the same, but there's a lot less upgrades going on. It's mostly just making plasma robos and stuff like that. Level 31, you want to be a little bit careful. If you don't pop those hearts fast enough, they can do lots of damage. So you might just want to use a set of road spikes kind of early on, instead of waiting until the very, very end to get your regen balloons popped. You can obviously just, as soon as they come out, if you wanted, you could use 2 sets of road spikes, completely pop them, they're gone. It's really easy to do that. Sometimes people don't realize that you can do that, and they use glue, and then they multiply and do tons of damage, and that's not what you want. That's why some daily challenges are a little bit hard, just for that. One thing I noticed about this whole entire thing was that the actual round thing in the bottom left is a little bit messed up. It confused me a couple times, and that's why I ended up getting a spike factory on level 32 instead of level 33. And it kind of made me angry, because I could have got an extra farm instead of doing that. If you notice, after you beat a round, normally it says, okay, you're on round 32 still, even though you beat it, okay? But it seems like it changed. Now it says you're on level 33 before the round even starts. I don't know if that's just a glitch in the game, or they're going with a complete change here. I haven't really played a bunch of new maps, so I don't know yet. But that totally messed me up. Not like extremely, but you might want to wait on the spike factory for level 33 instead of getting it when I got it on level 32, because I think you can survive 32 with maybe 1 set of road spikes and get an extra farm, which will help out a bunch. Level 34 is a little bit difficult. What I did with my glue gunners is I actually put them on strong instead of last. And my glue gunners I usually keep on last, because I want them to hit as many balloons as possible that are strong. And what happens is sometimes if you put them on strong, they try and hit the balloons that are in front of them or kind of first, but then by that time your boomerang's already going to pop them, and then they're hitting balloons that are already weaker, like pink balloons instead of black balloons, which can be a problem. For level 36, you want to try and get your boomerang monkey up to 2-3, and your boomerang monkey is kind of important right now. He's going to be your main popping power for 32, 33, or not 32, 37, 38, and some of level 39. Then probably on level 38, maybe 37 if you want. If you can afford it, you want to get a spike factory. And the way I put my spike factory is I put them kind of, if you notice, just like right in the beginning there of the separation of the 2 little lanes on the bottom, on like the left side. And that helped out quite a bit. Even though it's just because you put it there because it's only on the 1 lane now, and then instead of having your spike factory, you have to put it on 2 lanes and be completely random. At least this way, you know it's not going to be completely random. You know every single spike's going to go on that lane. I hope that makes sense. It might be a little bit difficult for you. Level 39, I got a monkey village, and then I got a 2-2 glue gunner. And the 2-2 glue gunner, you got to be careful on this level, okay, guys? With my strategy, I went with the monkey village, and that made me so I couldn't really buy a lot of stuff, but I'm going to help me out for later in the game. But you got to be really, really careful on this level. It's going to take micro. If you notice, I use road spikes, okay, on the ceramics. And as soon as they come out, I use road spikes, okay, guys? That helps out a ton. Okay, if you pop that ceramic, after they get glued, you're going to get so much damage with your glue compared to normal. And then what you want to do is for level 42, get the 0-2 upgrade for the monkey village, and you got camo detection completely. And also you want to get a 3-0 or 3-1 or 3-2 cannon. I think I just went with a 3-2 cannon to start off with, and then I wanted to get a super monkey for level 43. Level 43, you can either do the exact same thing you did on 40 and make a bunch of road spikes, but obviously that's not the best thing you probably want to do. Just save up for the super monkey, even if you have to sell a farm, which I don't think you should have to, unless you're using way too many road spikes, guys. Don't use too many road spikes if you can't afford a super monkey for level 43. One other thing I kind of forgot to mention is make sure you guys save. I know this is kind of important for some levels like 46, but if you really, really need to get no lives lost, make sure you save quite a bit. But for the most part, just save every like 10 rounds or something like that. I mean, it sucks when you have to come back and you just doing really, really good, and then, you know, randomly you just don't use road spikes on a moab or something, and then everything shoots by instead of using 3 sets of road spikes on the moab or something like that. It completely sucks, guys. And then pretty soon I'm actually going to speed it up to 3 times, so we're pretty much done with the super duper hard parts of the strategy. I got a couple farms going already. I got almost a Roboplasma, and we're doing pretty good. So on level 49, what I did was I got quite a few farms, and I was thinking about getting a Roboplasma. I was thinking about saving up for it, but I realized I need the money, guys. I need a lot of money. You need the farms for this strategy. So what I did was level 49, I just kept the regular Plasma Monkey, and then for level 50, you might want to use a couple sets of road spikes here and there on the Moabs. I think I used 4 sets of road spikes on the Moabs, and it helped just enough for me to pop them, so it was pretty easy. Once you get to level 51, you want to get your Roboplasma. Keep him on first instead of strong. At first, you want to keep your Super Monkey on strong, because it'll pop the Moabs and it'll pop the ceramics, so your glue can do a bunch of work. But once you get your Roboplasma, you want to just keep him on first, because you really don't have any popping power late down the map, only in the beginning. He's pretty much all your popping power. You don't want to mess up and have your Moabs come down and your ceramics just run right by you. That would be really bad news. And then for this is the kind of hard part, knowing exactly how many farms to buy and knowing exactly what to buy. I perfectly made it. I don't even know how I did it. It was kind of luck that I was able to get 2 Roboplasmas. I think I didn't sell any farms, which worked out a ton. I had like 100 extra money to get those 2 Roboplasmas, and that's all you need is those 2 Roboplasmas. You can take out the BFB pretty easily. Obviously, with a few other extra towers, you might need a few sets of road spikes. If you're really, really worried about the BFB, use like 5-6 sets of road spikes on the original BFB instead of the Moab, and you'll do a lot better. And then for level 63, this one's kind of difficult. What you want to do is, I even had to sell a farm. I got an Arctic Wind, so a 3-2 ice tower, and I also got a 3-2 cannon. And that helped out quite a bit. It seems like level 63 wasn't that bad the way I did it. But if you don't do it with the Arctic Wind and all that, it's actually really, really hard. You gotta use a lot of road spikes and a lot of either cannons or something else, but your Roboplasmas are not gonna have enough popping power. Level 65 won't be that difficult. Just leave them on first like normal. And your Roboplasmas will do a pretty good job. I farmed quite a bit between 60 and 70. I got 2 3-0 farms, and that gave me a lot of extra money. And if you notice, yeah, it's on 3 times speed now instead of 2 times speed. The first 34 levels were on 1 time speed, then up to 49 was on 2 times speed, and then this is 3 times all the way to the very end of the strategy. And then basically, what you're going to want to do is get a bunch of Roboplasmas. That's the basic strategy that I have for the rest of this entire thing. I'm not going to totally talk about the strategy. Just be careful on 76, 78, and a few other levels, and I'll talk about that when we get to it. But right now, I just wanted to talk about the map a little bit. And talked about it in my previous video for Medium, but I think most people are probably going to end up watching this, so if you're watching this, I definitely appreciate that. You know, I definitely appreciate likes and all that. But I was going to comment on the hardness of this one. This one is really, really hard, guys, and I was saying about how it's just about as hard as the castle and stuff, and also, if you look at it, it's just a bad map. It's overall not a terrible design, per se, but they made it kind of really difficult for an advanced map. They weren't really thinking ahead, I don't think, and they just made it, like, look really, really bad. And what I mean by looking really, really bad is, if you look, it's just like they copied a bunch of bushes and just pasted them on there. And the reason why I think about this way is because if you look at Snake River, it looks really, really cool. There's a really cool design to it. They even put flowing water in the map and everything like that. And I don't feel like it would be that freaking hard to do it this way. And let me get back to the strategy a little bit, and I might come back to this if I have time to talk about it. But Level 76, what I did was I put all my Robo Monkeys on first instead of strong, and I did that because you don't want all your regeneration balloons to go from ceramics down to blacks or something, then you aim more ceramics, and then they just pop back into ceramics, so you probably want to put your Robo Monkeys on first. I don't know how much of a difference it'll make, but I just recommend doing it. Level 79 can be a little bit, or level 77 can be a little bit difficult as well. You probably want to have your few Roboplasmas on a mixture between first and strong, not all on first and not all on strong. Your Roboplasmas further down the map you probably want to leave on first, and the ones closer to the top, like the one in the middle island, you probably want to leave on strong. And he'll aim straight down there and hit both BFBs coming out of both little sections right there. And then for level 79, you probably want to start getting some Moab Maulers, because I realized I don't have enough Moab popping power. Even those Roboplasmas are not getting enough Moab popping power, so make some freaking Moab Maulers. At any point now, you could, if you're having problems, remember if you're saving and all that, if you're having any problems whatsoever, sell your banana farms. You could go with a Technological Terror if you're having super duper ton of problems, but I recommend just building some more Roboplasmas and or Moab Maulers, and you'll be totally fine. The Arctic Wind and the cannon down there are more than enough popping power. You just gotta make sure you pop the Moabs fast enough. You could also upgrade your tack shooter if you really wanted. You could get a 0-4-2-4 tack shooter. You could get a 4-0-4-2 tack shooter. Those will both actually help quite a bit more than you think. Level 78, I forgot to mention something. You probably want to get your cannon up to 4-2 for level 78, because that's the only spot where you have the camo detection, is with anything around there. And level 78 can have those camo detection, have those bunch of that ceramic camo come through, and you could do bad. Okay, and then level 78, or level 84 is a little bit difficult, but I think you guys got it, and then 85, you guys got it. So thanks for watching, and have a really nice day.